I get itchy staring at the specs sheet for the new ThinkPad P1 Gen 7 and wondering if it's really worth the cash, especially when there are a dozen other laptops promising gaming-grade performance. You've probably heard the buzz about OLED touchscreens and Wi-Fi 7, but you're also nervous about ending up with a machine that's either too heavy for daily commutes or just not powerful enough for the demanding 3D models you need to render on the road. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first saw the P1, the thing that caught my eye was the 16-inch OLED panel with a 3840x2400 resolution. In the real world, that translates to a surprisingly crisp workspace for CAD drawings and color-critical video editing. I tried pulling up a 10-minute 4K timeline in DaVinci Resolve, and the colors looked buttery smooth, with the touch capability letting me scrub frames with my finger when I was away from the mouse. For someone who does client presentations on the go, that level of visual fidelity makes a noticeable difference compared to a standard matte LCD. The heart of the laptop is an Intel Core Ultra 7155H paired with an NVIDIA RTX 2000. That combination is not just marketing speak. It actually lets you run a full stack of design software: SolidWorks, Blender, and even a few modern games without dropping below 60 frames per second at medium settings. I took it to a coffee shop, opened a 12-core render in Blender, and the machine stayed cool enough that the fan noise was barely audible over the chatter. For freelancers who need a portable workstation that can also handle a quick gaming session after hours, that dual-purpose performance is a real win. Memory and storage are where the P1 really shows its workstation pedigree. With 32 GB of RAM and a 1 TB NVMe SSD, I could have multiple heavy applications open: Photoshop, a virtual machine, and a large dataset in Jupyter without feeling any lag. The SSD boots Windows 11 Pro in under 10 seconds, and loading a 30 GB project file took just a few moments. If you're the type who likes to keep all your assets locally and hates waiting for external drives, this speed feels like a tangible productivity boost. Security is another angle that Lenovo leans into heavily. The built-in fingerprint reader works seamlessly with Windows Hello, so I can unlock the machine in a single tap, even when I'm wearing gloves on a construction site. ThinkShield and the Trusted Platform module add hardware-level encryption, which is reassuring if you're handling sensitive client data. In my experience, that extra layer of protection saved me a few minutes of hassle when I needed to set up a remote VPN connection at a client's office. Now, no device is perfect, and the P1 does have a few practical trade-offs. First, the chassis is built for durability, but that durability comes with a weight of around 4.5 pounds. If you're planning to lug it around all day on a commuter train, the extra heft can become noticeable after a few hours. Second, the battery life, while decent for a workstation, drops to roughly 5 hours when you're pushing the RTX 2000 for gaming or intensive rendering. That means you'll still need to keep the charger handy for a full day's work if you're running heavy workloads. Finally, the price tag sits well above the average consumer-grade laptop, so it's an investment that makes sense only if you truly need that blend of graphics power and professional-grade security. Who should definitely consider the ThinkPad P1? If you're a freelance engineer, an architect, or a video editor who needs a high-resolution, color-accurate screen and the ability to render complex scenes without a desktop, this machine hits the sweet spot. It's also a solid choice for professionals who travel frequently and can't afford to leave their workstation at the office, because the combination of Wi-Fi 7 and a reliable fingerprint login means you stay productive wherever you are. On the flip side, if you're a pure gamer looking for the highest frame rates on the latest AAA titles, you'll find the RTX 2000 respectable, but not on par with a dedicated gaming laptop that sports a higher-tier GPU and a more aggressive cooling system. Likewise, students or casual users who don't need professional-grade graphics or the extra security features might find the price hard to justify. One practical strength that often gets glossed over in marketing copy is the keyboard's tactile feel. The ThinkPad's classic scissors which keys give you that satisfying click, which is a small but meaningful comfort when you're typing long scripts or debugging code for hours. I also tested the touchpad's new mode switching feature, which lets you toggle between a traditional pointer and a precision drawing surface. For quick sketches or UI mockups, that functionality feels more natural than juggling a separate graphics tablet. On the downside, the laptop's port selection is fairly minimal. While it does include Thunderbolt 4 for fast external storage, you'll need a dongle or hub for HDMI, Ethernet, or SD card access if you rely on those in a studio environment. That adds a bit of extra baggage, especially when you're already juggling a power brick.